think I do try to finish what I'm saying as quickly as possible.
It's generally it's still about 3 weeks.
The following day, we returned, and you're still talking.
2 weeks later.
Yeah. No, I got a good contest on that, as if he made that shot.
We're gonna have a problem there soon.
Fuck it, let's take it outside.
I'd rather not.
Well, I win then.
Okay.
Ding ding! I'm the champion! Yeah, undefeated! In all fairness, I do only challenge people that have crippling phobias of the outside.
If I could get out, I would let you beat me up.
Cheeky bastard, isn't he?
Blue, I've seen you, mate. You know what I mean? You need to make sure that first punch is a good one, mate, because if it isn't, I'm just gonna fucking belly flop you.
In all fairness, I would probably pull my arm back and blow away in the wind. I have to be very careful when I walk down the street to keep my hands down at my side, because if I make too much of a sail, I'm gone.
Remember when I was about 14, this gobshite on the canal wanted to fight, right? He ran at me. He swung, the old Haymaker wild no skill punch.
Yeah.
He
I'm
swung.
going to hit you with a comic book punch.
Yeah, he swung, miss. And on the last one he missed, I noticed that he was now facing towards the canal, so I just quickly walked behind him and shoved him in. And then walked over to my mates.
Yeah.
And they were pissing him. Yeah.
Don't even wait to see him fall, just wait for the, listen for the splash.
I sat there, let us see, and he pulled himself out, took a few efforts, and he comes walking over to me, thunderclouds above his head, fucking canal slush, fucking all over him, right?
Yeah.
And he walks up to me like he's gonna fight, and I said, I'll throw you in again.
Yeah.
He just walked off home to tell his mum.
Yeah.
I love how these hard men, when they get fucking twatted, I told my dad on you. Well, in his case, it's I'm gonna tell my mum on you, which was scary because his mum was fucking psycho. But...
Well, there was this kid at my school, and he was like special needs, and they basically turned around because I was generally the butt of the bullying. They told this kid that I was saying all this shit about his mom, apparently, and that I wanted to fight him. And so he came up to me in the hallway, blindside, like bam, popped me in the side of the head. Turned around and went, "What the fuck you doing, you prick?" And he went to hit me again, and I punched him. He fell on his it was one of those like punched him right on the nose, like, and he just fell on his ass, like sat down. And then there was a teacher there, and I didn't even get to find out what he hit me for until like probably 3 or 4 days later. And that was the closest I ever came to being in an actual fight. Like, I got punched a few times and like pushed around and that, but I never really. I didn't want to hit them back because if I started hitting them, I wouldn't have stopped hitting them.
Yeah, that was no problem.
I agree with the situation. Like, I do have a foul. I've only ever lost my temper once, and I was about 7 or 8, and I had 4 grown adults trying to pin me in the corner so that the kid could get out. Like, and they weren't little adults either. Like one of our neighbours, she was a big girl. And she goes, I was leaning all the way back. She goes, I was pulling him. I was scared I was going to pull his arms out the socket. Like, my mum was trying to peel my fingers off one side. I think it was my brother was trying to peel my fingers off the other side. And then my sister was at the back with my feet, like, trying to keep hold of me so I couldn't kick anybody. I was kicking out, fighting and scratching and everything.
I remember the first fight I had. It was, I hadn't even joined senior school yet. I think it was I just finished the year of juniors. And my mum and my next door neighbour at the time, weirdly enough, didn't get on. Weird that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I was playing with that lad. That lad was 3 years older than me, so I'd be, what age would that be? He'd be considerably bigger and older, you know what I mean?
Yeah. 3 years when you're a kid is a lot.
Yeah. And I was outside my mate's house waiting for him to get up. It was like 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And he came up, fucking started mouthing off, and I just fucking ignored him. My mum told me to ignore him.
Yeah.
And then he swung at me. Then proceeded to be a 10-minute fight where we ended up in 3 people's gardens, where I was on top of him, punching him in the face way more than he was hitting me, you know what I mean? It was a proper fight, you know what I mean? At the end of it, at the end of it, he had a black eye, his lip was bleeding, there was blood coming from his nose, right? And I had a bust lip, that was it.
Yeah.
Right, and on the first day I went into senior school, I was walking in with my mates. Right, and all the bad kids were sat on the steps smoking. I was first day in school with, you know what I mean? And he shouted me over, right? So I walked over and he turned around to his mates and said, look lads, this kid, yeah, don't fuck with him. He said he may look soft, but this kid held me for 10 minutes in a fight. I've never lost a fight until I fought this kid. Right? He said, don't mess with him, he's got my respect. And he's right, he never messed with me after that, you know what I mean? We always we never friends, anything like that, but when we saw each other, it was polite letting on, that was it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, mutual respect, mate, mutual respect.
Right, and all his mates, they were there.
Really, just one person in a place of authority or power amongst the peers, rather than the teachers.
Well, I didn't fight that much. I should have fought a lot more, but it's like when I was in junior, it was either the end of infants, start of junior schools, I was fighting all the time. And my mother and the teachers and the other parents, they literally, it was serious, you know what I mean? I was almost kicked out of school. And I fucking had to have counselling and all that sort of stuff to help me calm down and all that sort of shit. But whatever they did, totally drove the fight out. You know what I mean? So, you know what it's like when you're fucking in that position. It sort of broke me a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was always fucking avoiding fights rather than fighting them. Seriously, most of my mates I fucking wish I'd have smacked.
Yeah. It's gone again.
I don't know, it must be the program, mate.
Yeah.
Also, come on, let me just